We got to get back in transition.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Chabot-McDonough Field here on the campus of Manchester Memorial High School for today's matchup that pits the Manchester Kings versus the Londonderry Lancers. My name is Kyle Heavey from Manchester Public Television. It's a pleasure to be with you on your Friday evening, and with us doing the play-by-play will be Mr. Rich McDonough. Rich, Londonderry comes into this game looking very good. Manchester on their home turf. The heat could be a factor in today's game, as it is a warm 82 and sunny degrees. And we're looking forward to seeing what will happen here.
Well, I'll tell you what, the heat is certainly a factor in this west-facing press booth here at McDonough Field. By the way, no relation. Nobody named a field or stadium after me yet. But, yeah, Londonderry 6-4, 6th seed, 9th in the New Hampshire High School sports poll. And they've had a few fits and starts. They lost to Exeter 10-7 a couple of games ago, and then they beat Dover just the other day 13-12. And for their part, the Kings, they're 1-9 now, 13th place out of 14 teams in D1, and they lost 8-0 after beating Keene back earlier in the season. So this is going to be a tall order for the Kings, but this is why we play the game. They've got 5 good athletes, and Londonderry's in a rebuilding year.
Yeah, certainly it's a fun one to see, and a long stick shot. And going to be saved there.
That was Colin Balio looking for a pole goal right there, and he's one of my 5 big athletes right there. You watch number 11, rangy player with that LSM stick, and he can get up and down the field in a hurry like a shorty. All right, but Londonderry gets a shot off the save and a clear, and again, 12-minute quarters in boys lacrosse, and off we go. I've been doing a lot of college games, Kyle, as you know, at every level. And 15-minute quarters, I get confused sometimes, but I'll iron it out, Kyle.
Well, we'll get things squared away as Londonderry, with it behind the net, looking to set something up. They're doing short passes, and they're connecting.
Yeah, they're just trying to get in a rhythm, but that's a bit creeping inside, getting behind the entire defense right there. Got to keep eyes on. You can't ball watch. You know hockey very well. Puck watching, not a good thing. Ball watching lacrosse, not a good thing.
Yeah, certainly we know a lot of these players on the Manchester squad from their hockey days. And
here's another one of my keys. Alex Sutherland, he has the ball right now. Look at him. He goes both hands. That's great. You want to see that in a big, tall defender. He's a junior. I like his game. I certainly like his athleticism. D'd up hard right there by Austin Callahan. I saw Londonderry earlier in the second game of the season. Kyle, they played Nashua North, who's struggling and putting back a building year. So I haven't seen, Londonderry go full bore. I believe we will see that at least in the first half tonight.
Well, I'm going to pass it over to the goalie, who's going to try to set the Lancers up as moving from the.
Yeah, that's Brock St. Gelais. He's a sophomore. Got some talent in there. Goes pipe to pipe in a hurry. And, they're going to be all kinds of athletes on this Londonderry team. But great feed to the bottom of the far side slot. That would be the left side. It's the right side if you're the goaltender. And just seeing it real quick and a good handle is Owen Heward. I saw him, Kyle, when I covered that game. It was at Londonderry. And Heward, he's a gamer. He's got a good handle. And like we just saw, Kyle, he can handle in traffic under hard pressure.
And we've already got a timeout on the field here, Rich, as they're trying to get things all squared away.
Yeah.
As Coach D'Onofrio not liking what he saw from his squad so far, and he wants to get things squared away. So for this Manchester team, only our second game that we've covered this season, as we saw the Keene-Monadnock game a few weeks ago.
Right.
And unfortunately, a 7-2 defeat on the hands of the, I don't know, call them the Black Huskies or what you want to call them, but either way, for the Manchester squad, I mean, they certainly have a lot of talent. Colin Bolio was the quarterback for the football team and also played on the basketball team. So a 3-sport athlete who will be going to Springfield College to see what he can do here today to try to get things going here for the Kings.
Playing for the pride out there. I got to tell you, they have a really solid and great history of athletics out there. That's my old family's neck of the woods out there, Holyoke, Springfield area. And, good place to go to school. I will tell you, the biggest thing out of Springfield College is they have a legendary coaching tree.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Coach D'Onofrio is from Springfield College as well.
I was teeing you up.
I hope I knocked it out of the park for you as, again, we're going to get a face-off here. And thankfully, a little bit of cloud coverage here for a moment here, Rich, so it helps us out.
Yeah, I'll take that. My Irish skin. I'm in the hot box over here. But I tell you, I think it's reasonable for Coach D'Onofrio to call that one because people were standing still. Their heads were not on a swivel. And anytime there was any kind of gap, Londonderry was 5 feet away from the crease. Cannot have that. So that's okay. Obviously, you got to win your face-offs when you call timeout, but they do not.
Obviously, face-off such a huge part of the game here, Rich. It's certainly you get that, and now we got a turnover here for the Lancers.
My old joke, Kyle, as a long-recovered lawyer, is possession is 9/10 of the law and 99/10 of sports.
Oh, I like that.
There we go. That's a good athletic move right there by Declan Wooten. And he's got the ball still. He goes down the slot, gets it to his left, gets a low shot and a pretty good save, and that one ricochets across the crease, comes near side, outside toward the restraining line. Fight for it is on. Good pickup in traffic by Brandon Weaver, one of our go-to guys and a team captain.
Yeah, Weaver, we saw a lot of him in that game versus Keene, and now
he was a weaver. He was weaving all through traffic, couldn't hang on to it. Back to in the offensive third come the Lancers with a 1-0 lead, looking to create. We're down to 9 minutes even here in our first quarter at Chabot-McDonough.
Looking to set something up here are the Lancers, as getting some fresh legs.
I got to tell you, the Londonderry coaching staff, with their backs to us, are as loud as it gets. It's impressive. Ooh, good take. Gets under the good pressure is Aiden Stoll and launches one from kind of midpoint. You know, see that mid-release where his hip is? And went top opposite corner, just missed the top side. And I tell you, in the cage, as a goalie myself, Cam Roberge, probably breathing a sigh of relief there, Kyle.
Well, a penalty flag is thrown on the field, so
yep.
Manchester will be down, I believe. Yeah, as number 9 is.
Yeah, it's Kyle Pelletier is going to take a seat.
Got already a knee down, and we'll be taking a little bit of a breather here. As now Lancers will try to set something up from behind the net. Long pass that connects.
Just going to spin it around, get in rhythm first. That's a big rip, and that's a good save by Cam. Holy cow. Goalie to goalie. Well done, kid.
Well, you had 2 people in the way for that shot and still took it. I mean, obviously, who wants to get in the way of that?
Still got around him. Looks like about 20 seconds left in that in the man-up situation for the Lancers, and they'll get it through X, and they got to go to work quickly, much like a 30-second penalty. Excuse me, I was a 30, so we're released. My bad, folks.
And now got another whistle here. Looks like it's going to be Manchester ball. We're now Londonderry's chasing after it. So they will get the ball here with 7:59 remaining in this opening period.
My guess is
no, it looks
they were
like
looking to do an over and back call, and it might have been deflected.
Yeah, so Lancers will get the ball. As I still want to call football. You know, hits the 35.
Yeah, I cannot see the ref's hands for the glare. I will do my best to unravel it.
Number 9 making some moves.
Yeah, pretty good there by Blake Thompson. And boy, I tell you, when you get across topside on that little sweep, and then he did a little mini face dodge, we'll call it that, where you bring the head of the stick across your face mask and then back to your strong position. It makes people lunge and miss, and it opens up real estate. And look what happened. Goal, 7:42, and it's 2-0 Lancers.
Yeah, Londonderry obviously has got a bigger bench, it feels like to me, looking down at these 2 benches. And they're able to, you know, come in and substitute very easily.
Oh, yeah, they've got a lot of depth. Even though they're in, like I said, they're kind of in a rebuild year.
Fight going on that face-off.
That's a good face-off by Cunningham right there. He's a first-year player. And, boy, I saw him play in the first game that I saw, you know, second game of the year, first game I was able to see them. But the kid has a lot of talent. And, man, is Coach Sampson lucky to have him for all 4 years, assuming Sampson stays.
That's a question, too, but –
good redirect there by Declan Brown. Gets down the slot. Now he's going to set stuff up. You get it below GLE. GLE is goal line extended, that kind of imaginary goal line that goes sideline to sideline. Good feed. Good catch. And almost a finish right there by Brody Campbell. But, boy, that was a really good redirect and look for the left-handed cannon, number 13, Campbell. A sophomore, Kyle.
Wow, that's.
So we're seeing some talent in the underclass for Londonderry.
We'll see if he stays there, if he decides to move on to somewhere else. But Lancers get the ball in.
Got to get some NIL.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a good feed and a good another little face dodge, and Roberge watches that one go by. And first one back there is Brody Campbell, who's camped out. And the rule, folks, if you don't know, is on the shot, whoever is closest to the ball at the point and time it goes out of bounds gets possession.
Such a wild thing here, Rich, as we, focusing on so much basketball where whoever touches it last, it goes out of bounds.
Yeah.
It goes to the opposite team.
You don't want to just ruin an offensive possession because you missed a shot, and hustled for it. It keeps the game flow going. But then again, you want to reward extraordinary hustle on the D end. I always found it fun as a goaltender.
I could see why. You certainly have to keep.
Oh, and that one swings. That one had some sizzle on it. And Cam Roberge just seeing a lot of rubber here early on, Kyle.
Yeah, certainly we saw him get pelted a lot in the hockey season as they had a great year overall. And now to see him here doing his thing on the lacrosse field, kid's got talent,
And the Kings doing what they have to do. And they're kind of playing a little bit of a matchup. Zone to start. Now they flex. And Londonderry reacts and they shift. So they bring one guy to the crease. They get low. Now they'll tack from below.
So good with the small passes. The touches are, you're just watching it just go all around.
Yeah, and there you can't have that camped out all alone. Surprised they didn't call a late hit right there as Declan Brown got off that left hand again. Big lefties here from Londonderry. All right, the Lancers in a 1-4 right now. Let's see how the Kings react. They're kind of packed in right now in that little 3-3 show. Bill Tierney from the great Princeton teams in Denver did it as well as anybody. See, that's the way it works. Any zone you see, get them to overload and then find those little seams, and we did. And when you got a great lefty like Campbell, it's going in the back of the net, Kyle. That was pretty nice ball movement.
Yeah, some velocity on that from about 7 yards out, and is able to help the Lancers take the 3-0 lead with 5:04 to go in this opening period. And, Memorial's doing their best. It comes down to the face-offs, Rich, and they got to try to win one to try to get back into this contest.
Well, now they send number 2, Colby Walden, who pairs up with Cunningham. And Walden, I saw him earlier. He's a senior, so you got a senior and you get a first year at the face-off dot. It just keeps coming. And Walden is very strong. Boom, look at that ground ball. He gets 2 butts to the ground and gets away with it. Lancer ball.
They're going to switch out, so Lancers are being a little patient here with some new blood coming out here.
And you see the Kings pressing out while the Lancers are subbing in. Just like hockey, you can do shift on the fly. You have to sub on the one side of the midfield.
And obviously, taking out your face-off person is a huge spark for the men's side of things. So
unless you got a guy who's got every tool in the kit there. All right, goes deep at X right here. That'll draw, and it draws somebody very deep instantly. We'll see what happens there. He's just hooked up. They're going to call a hold, in my opinion. I don't know if there was a second flag or sometimes you help the trailing official helps the primary official and also throws a flag so everybody's aware, but it's possibly a slash as well. Roberge, what a move left, and we do have at least a second foul. And we'll see what happens. This is going to be penalty soup here. I do have a card. I am a card-carrying ref and a goalie, which means I'm insane. But I will try my best to read the lips from afar.
Yeah, we're kind of can focus in on with the camera to see who will it be, and getting a little pat on the shoulder here.
Well, it's definitely
number 11
going out.
We'll see. Got a lot of. Well,
okay, so you got a 1 minute hold on.
30-second hold on.
30. Hang on. You get 30-second hold on. On Cam Jackson, and then Bolio's got a 1 minute unnecessary roughness for that high hit. I was expecting a locked-in penalty, but it's a common one. So you'll have two-man advantage for Londonderry for 30 seconds. So one's a 30-second call, one's a personal foul, 1 minute. So Londonderry will get right to work. They're playing 6-on-4 right now. And what you get them out of shape and spinning. And that was a long shot for a 6-on-4 situation.
Yeah, you feel like they could have had some time to get things squared away for the Lancers, but
yeah,
when you see the opportunity, shooter's going to shoot.
Well, wide open in the center right there is Delory. He's a good ball handler. So if they try that again, watch Thompson, see if he can drag his man down. Nope, they're still going with that outside shot. And Cam, with all that hockey DNA, he's going to track those down all day.
Well, the Lancers running out of lacrosse balls back there. It's not a net. We were able to see at West the other day, they at least have a stopper net for lacrosse.
All right, first penalty's released, so now you're just common 6-on-5 for 30 seconds. And with that shot, that'll be somehow the clock was running. Shouldn't have been running, but it is. Yeah, I remember I coached a game here when I was coaching Hollis Brookline, and we had to designate ball boys galore.
Yeah, I could see why.
So deep.
Well, Lancers
probably got one last gasp at it as a man-up unit.
Great pass attempt there, but it goes out of bounds, and the
yep.
Kings will get the ball.
Yeah, and Bolio is champing at the bit. He's got himself a shorty this time. He was ready to come back in, but nothing doing. He's got his long pole back. He'll get the personnel substitutions when appropriate, but right now it's the Kings on the clear.
Under 3 minutes to go. I'd love to see them get one here to try to cut this deficit.
And just so folks know, you get 20 seconds to get it over the midline. You don't have to touch it in. It just has to clear it in the air. That's a good look. Nice patient pass. Good handle in traffic by Jackson Obamore. And he's got the ball right now. Don't go in a straight line, young man. Hey, that's a good play. I'll tell you what. He felt the pressure coming on from behind. And what I got to tell you, that's old school, like Jim Berkman from Salisbury University. I'm a Maryland boy. And he got a stick vertical. You got to learn how to shoot in small spaces so you avoid that trail check. And he got his stick vertical in a hurry, overhead, change planes, goal.
Commentator cursed. You told him not to do it, and he went ahead and did it anyway, Rich, and able to cut that deficit down. And, well, like I was saying, they were trying to get a goal within the last 3 minutes, and wouldn't you know, they do it in a matter of 22 seconds.
They needed that one.
Face-off circle. Lancers having trouble picking it up. Just fighting all around to see who's going to get possession. It's going to be Manchester, though.
Good look in tight, going down the slot. Good change of hands, going from slot to slot, and a nice dump in, getting your stick low this time, away from the pressure coming on from your right side. And that is a good goal right there. Way to close the distance by Woughton. And, boy, I'll tell you what. And just a sophomore showing some maturity, I will say. Well done, kid.
2 goals in 19 seconds. Now Manchester just down a goal. And still plenty of time to go in this game. And at least some energy here from the home Kings.
All right, got to have your face right here. Keep the momentum going. They got a pole at the dot. That usually an advantage, but you have a lot of talented guys who can get that clamp here. Drew Allen got his clamp in just a blink of an eye and was able to pull that thing out of trouble. Good job on your face. Now we're just under 2 minutes here. Kyle, it's 3-2.
Yeah, Lancers obviously jumped ahead fast, but Kings with getting that turnover and then obviously winning the faceoff.
Good job there by Bolio staying on the hip. You want to stay on that hip. All right, out top with the ball right now is Thompson. He takes a look at the field while he gets his man Walden coming in to join him. Interesting, there's not been a whole lot of offensive time of possession for the Kings, but they're close. Transition goals, baby. All right, that's a good back out poise by Walden. And a self-yard sale.
Kind of waiting to see what's going on here. Lancers missed the pass.
He wasn't whistle ready right there. Wasn't ready for the ball. Oh, what a good snare. What a good run out by Walden. And to snare that thing is almost trickled over the midfield line right there. 1 minute exactly. 3-2 on the board.
Londonderry playing the cowboy play right here, whatever that might be. It might be just a everyone go wild.
Well, you got a 1-4 as your basic set, and they're kind of picking inside, picking outside. And that sometimes makes defenders look the other way, down low, and then here comes your that's a pretty good check right there. Nice job in traffic by Cam Jackson again. Bolio, good defense right there. Oh, way to turn your man back from GLE. I love it. Nice little good wrap checks.
Manchester playing great defense. They really are not allowing the Lancers to get a clear shot at this moment.
Yeah, and they're not even getting any penetration. This is good, a good defense, and then a beautiful check right there. Nice job, young man. I tell you what.
3 seconds to go. Gotta have to shoot.
He rips one. Looking for a long-distance pole goal, nothing doing. I tell you, Lucas Jackson, some real good defense. Bolio with some good defense. And everybody in white playing solid in that defensive stand right there. That was high quality, Kyle. 3-2.
Well, a good 12 minutes of play between both sides. We'll take a quick break here for this first period as we'll take a hot break here. And Rich McDonough, Kyle Heavy from Manchester Public Television. Back with more after this.
All right, welcome back here in Memorial where we have a good game going on. NHIAA D1 ball for Manchester Public Television. Rich McDonough, Kyle Heavy, and the hometown Memorial Central Kings have a real strong showing. It's 3-2 Londonderry, 6th seed, 6th place. We got a flag flying. Can't tell whether it was a slash or an offsides. We'll sort that out. We're looking right into the sun. Really good second half of the first quarter for the fellas in white, Kyle.
Yeah, very impressive to fall down 3-0, come back, and they got the energy right here. You can kind of see it. We could anyway, at the little break here to see that the energy from Coach D'Onofrio and the rest of these Kings are through the roof right now.
Yeah, their sideline was buzzing. Here, we have a delayed call here. Looked like Robert's got a piece of that. Get back in your cage, young man. All right, and then Londonderry's going to spin it. They've got time. There's no shot clock in high school ball unless you're back in Maryland or New York where they do that sort of thing now because they have enough refs. And anyway, that's a good take right down the slot right there by Stoll. Good alley dodge. Pretty good head fake right there. But way to not give up your space on topside. I tell you, I've liked seeing what Alex Sutherland's been doing so far, number 6 in white, Kyle.
Yeah, it's really been tough a lot of defense being played here by the Kings. They're going to get tired eventually, but for the time being, they are playing full on trying to get this victory at home on this Friday. And
he wasn't in a hurry to chase his man deep. He stayed topside and didn't let his man reverse field and get up to the top side of the cage. Very good poise. All right, here comes Londonderry. Do a little two-man game out top. Give it back to Parker Lewis, who's a good player. Puts that in his right. Fakes that alley dodge and then redirects. Good help side D, trying to get that ball to the ground. We're going to get a stoppage in play if we get a change of possession. And somebody got pushed. We'll see what the ball's loose, so we won't have a foul on that. But we'll hear from this delayed who's going to go to the box for the Kings.
That was a long time in that flag being out.
Yeah.
Londonderry had the ball. They really have had possession for $1.56 now.
Yeah, they chewed up that first 2 minutes, really.
Hey, you were right, Rich. It was a slash.
Slash on Rivera.
He gets a pat on the head.
Excuse me. It was Jackson Obenmorin, excuse me.
He will take a quick water break here, and just that Gatorade bottle is going to be used quite a bit today, but right now Londonderry with the advantage. We'll see what they can do.
Yep, 1 minute foul versus 30. Personal fouls are a minute. Technical fouls are 30. We'll iron that as we see them come on. And there's a little bit of a nice rotation there and a big cannon. Great release by Colby Walton. Back of the net, 9:50. That only took 12 seconds.
Yeah, that was a laser of a shot right there. And now the Lancers able to go back up, too, with 9:50 to go. And, Got to avoid those slashes as best you can, as that obviously led to another goal for Londonderry, and they are enjoying the advantage here. They have not been down, and we'll see what Manchester can do on this faceoff.
You got to get a clamp hard and quick, or just get that 50-50 ball. Don't assume he's going to get the clamp. There you go. Step on it. Look like you almost good. Kick it out and use your speed. Well, and don't put the brakes on. Go through the ball. See, just go through the ball and then quick jab step and get to green.
Well, now battle ensuing, and
all right, they didn't give up on the play, but a nice ground ball in traffic and not giving up in his own right was the ever hustling. I saw him play before, Cunningham.
now taken away.
Yet another first-year player for Coach. They got numbers if they want it. Boom. Oh, just missing the lefty spin. Great rollback. Oh, and really upset with it right there was Wotan.
Well, that was a great move. Either way, try to spin. And obviously, he would like to capitalize and score it next time. But, if certainly is a very smart move, and, he'll get his chance again.
Well, I think he'll do it intentionally. He'll drag his man down the goal line extended, and he's a big, strong fella. He'll roll back topside, and if he gets no help like that time, look for this one to be back of the net and nowhere else. All right, time for Londonderry to set up shop now with a 4-2 lead. It is 8:45 coming up in our second quarter here in Memorial in Manchester on a cooking Friday evening.
Yeah, we are certainly press box is a little difficult here.
Oh, Roberge with a beautiful save, going to his knees but keeping his eye on the ball. Great job.
Londonderry will get the ball, though, after deflects that way.
Almost feel like one of those Jets is going to use this as a landing field.
Let's hope not.
All right, Londonderry's got everybody high. See, watch the rotation on the backside, that clear space for the ball carrier, who's Delory, another first-year player. They are going to be reckoned with. All right, good ball movement. They're passing at about 50, 60 miles an hour, which is good job at this level. Good pressure. Taking the hits right there is Thompson. He gets it below Gio. This time they feed in tight. Did it trickle? No, it went way backside.
Well, I'm just looking to see. He got smothered pretty good.
Yeah, that was
right on the goal line. And
that was a good stick. Yeah, going down in a heap right there was Campbell. No call. It's just physical play. In case you missed it, lacrosse is a very physical game.
What a beautiful game as that, Rich.
Oh, you tell me. It's the creator's game.
And now substitution here for Manchester.
Sometimes called the medicine game, Kyle.
Oh, I'd
There
never
you
heard
go.
that before.
Yeah.
Well, Londonderry will keep possession here with 7:50 to go in this second quarter.
All right, here we go. We're still 6-on-6.
Well, it looks like the referee is coming out. Was there a penalty on this? I think.
Yeah, it looks like I didn't see fly. Oh, you know what? I'll bet you it flew right nearest the Kings bench, and we didn't see it.
Yeah,
It looks like Pelletier got that one.
Yeah. So advantage up for Londonderry, and
so if they ruled it a push, it's 30. If it's another personal foul for a late hit or unnecessary roughness, it'll be a minute. Sometimes these unnecessary roughness penalties high are locked in. That means it's full serve no matter if they score a goal, if they score 6 goals. If there's still time left on the assessed penalties, you stay in the sin bin. All right, here we go. Bring everybody out top. Only one guy below. And watch how they start their rotation inside. Creates the space. Now that's a great That's a great slide, but they're saying
no whistle here.
Roberge is asking them to wave that off.
Waiting to see. The referees are going to come together. And no, it's going to be waved off here,
Yeah,
Rich.
so he stepped on the edge of the crease is what happened. You can't see it from here. We're 150 yards away, and my LASIK isn't holding up that well.
Son's kind of playing games with me here.
That doesn't help, but There's Roberge. Nice play in the miss there by Londonderry, and they get it out in a hurry. And Roberge came crushing across the cage, and man, he was doing a 4.540 and got himself in the flight path of that ball. Errant pass, but he made up for it in blink of an eye. Great job, Cam.
Yeah, that was a celebration that we have not seen from this Manchester squad, be able to.
Yeah, and the Kings were closest to the ball where it exited the field, and the moment it did so they have the ball, but it's a man down clear. Tough to do because now you're playing even, and Londonderry doesn't mind trying to double right now with maybe Roberge not certain about getting up into the flow. That's a great butt check right there. Beautiful check by Walden.
He'll take his time here, wait for his teammates to join.
Walden using his screen. Oh, what an eat. Holy cow. Cam Jackson with the eat of the century, and he's down. Oh, boy, kid. I hope you're okay.
Yeah, that's not much you can say.
No, and he's feeling it right now. Prayers up for Cam.
Helmet immediately came off. I mean,
we used to call it a bell ringer, and as a goalie myself, I played against some college guys with some high heat at Fairfield and Georgetown, and bell ringer is kind of a clownish word for it. It's serious. You got to take a good look. We got to care about these guys, and I hope he'll be all right. But sometimes you just, for the better, discretion being the better part of valor, let him cool off and put your feet up for the day.
Well, we'll see. The trainer is dealing with him, and now we got a replacement here that's going to bring some energy.
Yeah.
And now we'll see.
Well, the trainer just checked on him briefly, or the coach did, excuse me, and took a walk, just making sure. I mean, this kid can play, and he's already chugging down some ice water. My feeling is he's going to be back.
And now Londonderry gets the possession here at the 30.
Oh, what a big windup. That went wide and right. Roberge was in a full kick save. Have we seen that move before?
Once or twice this year, for sure, between Brian C. Stone and Memorial Christmas tournaments and a lot of games throughout
a lot of Kings, yeah. All right, here we go. They're going to spin it. They got two in the middle. It's like looks like unbelievable. I tell you what happened is Walden goes around top side of his man who's giving him some good defense, and once he got right around his hip, Roberge could not see the stick or the shooter. He just let it fly. And just like a hockey goalie can't see it on those screens in tight, Kyle, and you know him well, it's impossible to read. The ball moves at 90, back of the twine.
Yeah, it puts the Lancers up 5-2 with 6 minutes to go, a little more than 6 minutes. And Londonderry, after giving up 2, have now scored 2 straight. And
Walden's got 2 straight. All right, got to get this win if you're wearing white. Good way to stay after the ball. Ball gets vertical, but good hard man ball play right there. A little bit of a push, got away with it, did Londonderry.
And it's going to be white ball, the celebration at hand.
Yep, and they called that push. Well, I guess my LASIK is holding up, Kyle.
Well, now we don't know where the ball is the issue.
Yeah.
The ball has disappeared, and now.
Yeah, there are none on the sidelines, and there are none on the end lines at this point. That's just how deep this field is. They've got to detail somebody who isn't getting the minutes to go and harvest those things and string them out along the back lines and a couple on the corners.
Well, here we go for Manchester. First real possession in some time, Rich, where they got to get back into this game, and a goal here would be huge.
Oh, and just an errant pass. Kyle, I've said it in other sports. As a coach who coached forever, it's not DNA or genetics. It's unforced turnovers and stupid penalties that turn coaches' hairs gray. And here comes Londonderry looking for that kind of punt return clear, and there he goes. Good run there by Tyler Knapp, one of the few seniors on the team. And Knapp gets all the way coast to coast in the end zone, no less. Londonderry sets up shop. Knapp runs off the field, having done his job. He'll get high fives from everybody. And coming onto the field is Dawson. Listed as a short stick defender, which is an art and a science, but they'll get him some reps here. They need to get everybody some reps as you get down toward tournament time. 8-team tournament in D1.
8 teams, huh, Rich?
8 teams, yep.
8 teams.
Yep, everybody plays a quarter at least, a quarter final at least. Good pick, denied. Ooh, I don't know. They might call a cross-check. No dice.
No, it's going to be.
It was a legal pick. It was a properly called interference. So, actually, good call. I was watching them. One thing you can't do is hold your stick in a cross, across your body, like, perpendicular, Kyle. You have to put it vertical along with your body, so it has to stay parallel to you. If you put your stick out to the sides, and we're going to have 2 penalties on this series here, and the Kings ought to be fired up right now.
Yeah, well, waiting to see who will be.
At least 1 slash in my book. I'm going to take my headset off so I can hear my colleague.
Number 29 is going to take a moment, and also looks like 10 is going to come out and have a seat as well, unless that's just a substitution. Yeah, it looks like it's just a substitution, so we're going to wait and see if it's going to be a 1 minute or 2 minutes. Perfect. Wow, so the Kings certainly are going to get quality time.
All right, so here's the unraveling. Not much this time like last time. Is Wyatt Arnold Picard, number 29. He got both fouls, Kyle. So he got a push or a hold, and then he got a high hit, unnecessary, 1 minute. And again, another high hit up, and they give the targeting kind of sign and not locked in. So you got a 90-second man up right now. Releasable if they score.
Battle in front of the crease.
Big scrum, and then a great outlet pass. If you're wearing white, you can't get sucked into the scrum. Somebody's got to stay topside. Cardinal sin right there. Pole goal coming. No! Beautiful save by Roberge, and they still got about 60 seconds left on their man-up situation. Get it in. You don't have to rush. Go quickly, but don't rush is the old motto. Just set up shop.
Hurry up and wait.
Hurry up and wait, sure. But you see what happened. Everybody got sucked into that scrum. They were all bunched up. And what did Londonderry? They sent one. Here you go. Got denied last time. Somebody sucked that one up inside. That was Ayotte. Cam Ayotte, he's a good defender. I watched him play earlier, and he just ate that shot. That hurts, but you do it. That's what ice packs are for, Kyle.
Oh, absolutely. And obviously it's the weekend. You know that every one of these guys will be watching the Celtics game when they get out of here today.
Including you and me.
Ice packs or not. And now with just 180 seconds to go in this first half, we are getting a whistle here.
Yeah, there was Cunningham, one of those first-year players that we've been talking about, number 20. He went coast to coast with that long pole, and Coach bailed him out on the end line as he's about to get knocked out. That was a great timeout, and it came with 3:01 on the clock. Just get possession because I think that last penalty hadn't been released. I'll check it.
Yeah, it's unfortunately we don't have the scoreboard that will tell us how much time was needed here, but either way, it's a great scoreboard that's telling this story here. It's a 5-2 game here with the Lancers leading the Kings, a battle of medieval type stuff here.
Yeah, I like that. And I used to coach the Cavaliers.
Look at that. But
well, I tell you, we had speaking of scoreboards, we had the luxury last game. We were just across town at Derryfield Park calling the girls' Trinity game versus Concord Christian. They actually had penalty clocks, and not just one, Kyle. They had 4 of them.
Yeah, it certainly was special there. That scoreboard is certainly a lot newer here than what they have here at Memorial, but at the same time, this is certainly used for a lot of events here as well with football and soccer.
Sure.
But for the Kings, they obviously need to get this possession back, and you said it right. Londonderry got bailed out by calling a timeout, and just the second timeout called in this game, and Londonderry with a 3-goal lead here will look to set something up to try to increase that deficit. So let's see who chooses right here, Rich.
Yeah. I'll tell you, the scoreboard might have been around at the time of the Crusades, but that was a seasoned, experienced timeout call by Coach Sampson. The kid did his work, man down. He made a man down clear all by himself, punt return style clear. And what do? You don't let him get pushed out. You reward your player and say good job, give him props in the huddle, and then let's go back to work.
Well, they will get the possession on the back line here. So
and they're still man down.
29 still hanging out.
Still man down. It's going to be short.
Referee whistles, and here we go.
Well, if you're the Kings, 5 seconds left. If you were the Kings, I'd be pressing out, but nope. All right, and back into the game comes Trey Campbell, another freshman.
Londonderry really trying to set themselves up for success for the next 3 years with a lot of these freshmen.
Yeah, imagine these guys when they're juniors and seniors. Never mind that, sophomores. Holy cow. And he's got the ball right now in the near wing. Kyle Heavey manning everything here, spinning dials. Wow, big long launch. That goes wide off the stick. It was kind of rolling in Walden's stick, and that's why it got sideways.
Well, you've seen him shoot a couple lasers that have gone in, and a whistle call here.
Got a ball, we didn't have any balls on the end line, but now we have one extra on the field.
Oh, that's unfortunate right there. Is timeout called.
Another thing that's turned my hair gray as a coach. All right, here we go. They're back on offense, 2:15. Londonderry's up 5-2 here at Memorial. No hurry. I mean, if you go up 6-2, you're feeling pretty darn good. Because, the Kings gave you all their effort so far. They're playing very hard. Good defense right there. Way to come out, put some pressure by Brown. And there's Brown again. Boy, I like his instincts and his speed. Just don't get caught too far outside against a really athletic kid.
Yeah, all it takes is someone to cut the other way.
Here comes the drag, and they'll pass back against the grain. Easy, too easy for Roberge. He had no screens, long look at it, and he came way high to cut down any angle. Good goaltending, young man.
And Cam's certainly a big part of this defense. Has got to help get the ball across the line.
We got to get him in shorts. Yeah, I never played with sweats, even in the snow. Just felt like they slowed me down too much, Kyle.
And now it looks like
a good timeout.
Manchester is going to call a timeout.
No, that's a great timeout. 1:17 on the clock. You got a little bit of rhythm. You survived, and you got the ball back after Londonderry. Looked like it was really confident, when they called their timeout, Kyle, and they had some confidence. They say, hey, we just survived a 90-second man-down situation. Time for us to score. Cam makes a great save and a good outlet. Why not, right?
And it's such a huge thing in any sport, including hockey or lacrosse, to have a goaltender who's really up to the caliber of what Cam is able to do.
Without a doubt.
Keep him happy, and you're going to have a happy team. Get him upset, and all that things can kind of unravel quickly. So,
well, we've seen him in JFK, which is a fun barn to call their games in, and what I've seen is up-court vision, up rink vision. Not to brag too much on my own kid, who was a great goalie at BG, Will Murphy as well, and, also a quarterback. He had that pocket presence, and Cam's got that, seeing high heat on the rink, and he translates that into his lacrosse game. And I mean, one thing you can say is the kid's never going to have nerves.
Well, he's like we were saying in the last game, he just has a different, different caliber of being able to handle pain and wanting to take shots of.
And he's a leader.
Lacrosse balls or hockey pucks. So
I will tell you, Kyle, if you can lean out the window, it's 30 degrees cooler than the box.
Well, we just have a $1.17 to go, and we'll get a little bit of a breather here.
I've already lost 10 pounds.
Well,
here we go. All right, so $1.17. It's 5-2 in favor of Londonderry. Rich McDonough, Kyle Heavey on board for Manchester Public Television. Happy we're here. Happy I got my head out the window. All right, no hurry. You want to get into your rhythm about 30 seconds, maybe 20. Oh, that's a looper of a pass. Gumball that's easily, that was just an unfortunate release. And young man, you got to get off you got to go downfield and play some D.
Londonderry enjoying
you
this
give
turnover
them a fast
here.
break that way.
They're going to get some fresh.
Yeah, they got 40 seconds, Kyle. That's a tough turnover. And again, that's an ad for Grecian formula right there. Or I guess it's just for men these days. All right, 30 seconds on the clock, 5-2. Londonderry looked in the ad right before halftime. 6-2 feels a whole lot better than 5-2 for sure. Getting into their wide open set right now, meaning nobody's in the middle or the crease area. 15 and a timeout, probably a reasonable timeout. I
Waiting
think.
to see here.
Interesting.
A flag is
Let's call
thrown
them.
here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. It's offside on the Kings.
That's a tough one right there.
Yeah, it took them I mean, they were in offense for 35 seconds before the refs noticed it. And boy, I tell you, there were times when that happened to us, and if I saw it before the refs did, I'd call timeout and hope they didn't notice.
Well, here we go with Londonderry. 14 seconds to go, Rich.
Here's your dilemma. Do you go for the goal or do you hold it? And if you have a penalty when the quarter ends and you have possession, you start with the ball, no face-off.
Ooh, that's a tough one. Everyone likes a buzzer beater, though, Rich.
No, not if you're a coach. Well, looks like they might attack.
Laser.
I'm surprised. I'm really surprised. Okay, we'll face it off, but they've been doing real well at the face-off dot as it is. Wow, pretty busy first half, Kyle, and that'll wind us out of half number 1. It is the visiting Londonderry Lancers 5, the hometown Kings 2. Rich McDonough, Kyle Heavey for Manchester Public Television. We're so glad to bring you NHIAA on a sunny Friday night. We're going to take 10 with the fellas, and we'll see you on the other side. All right, welcome back to sunny Manchester, New Hampshire. Always good to say that line. Rich McDonough, Kyle Heavey for Manchester Public Television's presentation of NHIAA sports tonight. A D1 lacrosse battle between the visiting Londonderry Lancers and the hometown Memorial Central, Co-op Kings, who are giving Londonderry a great fight. 6th seed right now, 9th in the poll are the Lancers, and they're 6-4. Memorial is 1-9 coming in, but they are fighting like a team that has to be reckoned with, Kyle.
Yeah, we'll just call them the Kings and the Lancers to help you out here with a lot of these schools here, Rich. So
let's do it. I was trying to be formal.
We want to say congratulations as well as Londonderry looking to make something happen here. Well, maybe
that's a good takeaway by Bolio, and look at the speed, Kyle. And looks like he's got a slash coming. Delayed penalty. Boy, that drives coaches nuts when they should have been calling flag, flag, flag. And you set up on your offense, you get Londonderry's defense gassed, and then go to the penalty. So you were going to say congratulations.
Yeah, to Coach D'Onofrio, where his new son born this week. Little Bennett Jordan D'Onofrio is healthy and with mom tonight. It's obviously a cool feeling when you become a dad, and now it's hoping that he can make a win here for his new son, and it's obviously
great.
Able to still do his job with coaching and stuff like that, but came into the world, and can't go wrong with that little Benny.
Amen to that, brother. All right, so that was Delory took that penalty in home right now. You see him taking a knee as Heward. So we'll go 6-on-5. It's a slash. It's a 1-minute penalty, and now the backside of the offense are looking straight into sun, as are we up here in the booth. It is blinding. Feel like singing Springsteen song. Oh, that's a nice take right there. Way to elevate by Brady Harrison. As soon as he got around topside on the hips, he let that one go. He'll get the next one if you ask me.
Well, they got some time here with this advantage. This break, they obviously came out pretty hot in the first, and see if this little Gatorade break gets some hydration.
Londonderry in a 5-man rotation right now. Of course, that stands to reason as nobody's camped out in the crease there. Oh, this one trickles through, and it goes into the goaltender. Another bad break there for the Kings. St. Gelais with the outlet. Still down for about 20 seconds, and Londonderry's just going to look to chew clock. Big swing right there, courtesy of Jackson. Trying to dislodge that ball. Nothing doing. Good poise. Really good poise right there by Tyler Knapp. Taking the abuse and keeping going. Energizing bunny material right there. And look, going for the man down. And Roberge gets that blade down to the turf in a heartbeat. A nice save by number 3 in white. And he lofts this one kind of like looked like a wedge.
Yeah, certainly as the PGA championships are going on, that he's looking good here. And now
but it found the stick of Lucas Brown, and Lucas Brown just backpedaled. And as soon as he was ready to pass over across the top of the midline there, a really good check by Colby Walden, who's stuck with the ride. Did not give up on it, and he just, forced that pass to go high and out of bounds. Now, carrying with some serious speed is Stowell. He gets in topside, cross slot to slot. Roberge, he might have gotten a piece of that one too. He's clearly played a lot of hockey. He plays that style right there.
Lancers will keep possession, though, behind the net.
And we are at even strength. We are at 9:20 on the clock, and it remains 5-2 on the scoreboard in favor of the visiting Lancers.
Londonderry now getting their second chance to make something happen here.
And look, they've got everybody above goal line extended, which is interesting. Just trying to get into some rhythm right there, topside. But then you got home and camped out was Campbell on that big rip inside.
Setting something up here.
Yep, they're still topside. They're just going for this cool, like a 3-1-2 formation almost. I don't know what you call it, but it's cool. I like it. I've seen it. Some of the college games I've done, you can get some inside play as they tried right there, jammed it in, forced it. And with the talented checkers that you have wearing white, that's going nowhere but out, and it'll go right back to the Kings, and they're going to get on the clear, 8:37 on the clock.
Actually, it's going to stay with the
Whoa.
Lancers here.
Maybe it was deflected. Okay, it was deflected, no shot.
Back behind the net.
So they were ruling no shot. It was a deflection. Sure looked like a shot. All right, everybody up high again for the Lancers, and that opens up a little bit of underneath space. They go for it. Nothing doing. This one make wide. That's about their 20th shot wide of the cage, Kyle.
Yeah, I mean, only so much you can do. You're trying to fake Cam out, but Cam is certainly doing his thing very well.
And Kings packed in real tight here. And you got flags flying. It'll be interesting to see what this call is.
Well, you got a couple players down.
Whether it was slash, unnecessary roughness, or couldn't have been a push with possession. We'll see. And it looks like going to the box will be Pelletier. And it's a cross check, which is a personal foul. That'll be a 1-minute man up for the Lancers. 8:04 on the clock, still up 5-2. And looking for one more. So you get your long pole, your what we call the rope unit. Got to hang in there toward the end. Allegedly penned by Quint Kesnick. I don't know if that's a street rumor or not, but we'll find out for you. The rope unit being the D. Man down, not so much rope, but here we go. That's a good feed in the slot. And did you see what happened, Kyle? Great catch in traffic by Delory. He caught it high and knew where the check was coming. The pressure was coming from up to from north to south to north on him, and he golf released it. He got that to a low point release, and I think Roberts just couldn't see the release there, Kyle.
Just able to capitalize on that man advantage, and now the biggest lead of the day for the Lancers, a 4-goal advantage with 7:51 remaining in this third quarter. And now Kings got to win this faceoff, got to try to battle back, and it's going to go to Londonderry.
That's a good face. Keep that momentum going if you're wearing blue. And Playden takes it back behind GLE, real low, getting harassed right there by Bolio. Top of the slot, wide open. And we got flags flying, high hit. But that one ricocheted off the crossbar. Boy, that looked like Maryland's shot off of the Virginia goal back in that epic championship game.
Well, laundry on the field here, and looks like the long pole.
It was a very late hit. We'll see what they call it.
Looks like it's going to be 6.
Yeah, these refs don't bark very loud.
No, they certainly are keeping it close as with now 7:29 to go. Another advantage here is
cross check. All right, here we go. Londonderry was played real well on that last man-up sequence. 7:29 on the clock, up 4, looking to go 5. I can barely see anything, Kyle.
Yeah, they're going for the middle shot.
Same play, opposite side, or same play. They went right to Delory.
Same exact thing.
Yeah, and Roberts was ready for this one.
Now he's going to come out with it, gets it over, high pass, and now far side.
That's nice poise. Got to hang on to that, man. Get on it. All right, now just get to green. You got your touch. Now get outside. Chew up the clock. Give it to your 2 fastest runners and let them play keep away.
Well, here we go. Manchester being patient. They want to set something up here.
And you can hear the Londonderry faithful say double. These moments when the other team's trying to chew clock when they're man down, you have the luxury of doubling. And finally, the slide comes as almost, settled defense. That one misses near and wide.
Quick pass. Trying to set something up.
Takes
Tough
the
angle.
hit. Nice job getting in tight, but no angle. Frankly, it sounds crazy, but that's an easy save. As a goalie myself, that's an easy save.
A long
No
pass
angle.
here. Gets it across midline already. Getting shot here. Cam with a great save. My goodness, I know I sound like a broken record, but now he's going to go for the long pass.
And I got to tell you, Walden just got dumped to the turf with a cross check. The ref had his back turned, did not see it. Can't see them all.
I mean, with this sun, what can you see?
Well, he was in the shade. He gets no pass, but he didn't see it. It's just life. The action was on his other side. And
Loose ball, and what are we getting here for a whistle? Referee on the far side is saying Manchester ball. So
probably a push.
Looks like 12 will take the ball, and he only has to take a few steps to get to the midline.
I could not see the players directly in the sun.
He loses the ball for a
second. Good effort right there. Good effort to try to snare that ball back. Walden is one high IQ player. I like his game.
Well, Manchester now half the field in the shade on the south side of the
I was just about to say,
Chabot-McDonough field.
it's a relief to be looking that direction.
Now,
Way high, way high, starting with is Trevor Wong. Good roll back. Gets it low. Oh, that's a good release. He gets it just below his knee and goes low to low, but opposite side. Really nice shot right there by Wong after he rolled out of some good defense. Wow.
keep doing that, Manchester. They will get back in this game with a long, almost like a defenseman-type shot here from a distance, and now back to a 3-goal deficit. Plenty of time, still 17 minutes left in this contest. And if Manchester can try to get the face-off, they've taken some energy here, and it's a game of runs.
Well, I was surprised he shot it. It's possible the goalie there, St. Gelais, was also surprised.
They shot it into the sun, too. Got to remember that.
Here we go. All right, Londonderry. Every time Manchester looks like it's going to fade, they punch back. It's a good resiliency game, showing some character.
Here we go with Londonderry now.
All right, Londonderry.
Being patient here.
Yep. Again, in that open offense to start, I mean, just in basically a circle. And now, Delory goes to crease. That's that area right out in front of the goal, just like if you watch a lot of hockey, same thing. Oh, what a laser pass inside. Holy B2B, Batman. And that is what a long BB of a pass and an awesome finish by Heward. Everybody was looking topside, Kyle. That means outside to the top of the offensive set, and nobody watched Heward sneak behind underneath everybody, and that was a 15-yard pass on a dime to Heward, who finished behind the back, as we saw. And we talked about it, Kyle, in Game 1. So many of these kids, they practice. You got to practice all these behind-the-backs gadget. They're not gadgets anymore. It's just part of the game. Beautiful, beautiful sequence.
Well, now back to a 4-goal deficit. And
we got a
violation here.
Yeah, got to push.
And it's waiting to see. Manchester will get the ball.
Yeah, it's a push in the scrum there. So Manchester get the ball. Time for them to punch back again, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And again, don't hurry, but let's go. Right? Oh, thank goodness. We got the sun behind the clouds. The temperature just dropped 10 degrees.
Well, looking to
Look at all the clear-out room. Oh, and we're going to have a goal. Yes, sir. I said, look at all that clear-out room, and there is our fella right there. I tell you, we talked about Watton earlier in the game, Declan, the sophomore. Strongly built athlete, and he had that rollback where he just missed it earlier. Not going to be denied this time. 7-4.
But still, for Manchester, you can't just be getting goal to goal.
Nope.
They got to play some defense here and cut this deficit back to 3. Plenty of time.
I would do that play 10 times in a row until they stop you, and then once they send 2 to stop this young man, once they do that, there's going to be a lot of green space top side of him. But keep winning faceoffs if you're wearing blue. Nice win right there, and a takeaway by Callahan. Good check by Bolio. Are you kidding me? Holy cow, this kid can throw the lumber.
Give him a Tommy point or something there. That was a great job. And now he gets it over to Cam, who will try to set something up here.
Way to use your goalie. All right, nice moon ball. And this time it finds its target perfectly. And for the moment, you got numbers. You got 5-on-4.
Got to hold possession here.
But really, just excellent defense by Stoll. Recognizing that they were 5-on-4, and he just said, I'm pressing this. I've got the pole. I'm going to take this one away from you. Boy, that's unfortunate if you're wearing white. All right, 2:47 on the clock. It's 7-4 on the scoreboard here at the Memorial Crusader Field with the Kings. Memorial Central hosting the Londonderry Lancers. Again, ranked 6th seed in the standings, 9th in the poll. 6-4 on the season, looking to go to 7-4. Big windup. Roberge is right under that. He didn't even have to move. He's seen high heat, 100-mile-an-hour shots on the rink. He's not fazed by that at all. 15-yard shot. He can see that all the way.
Long pole gets it across. Takes a shot, which
I'm not happy if I'm the coach, man. Let's get into some settled O. You got 2 minutes. We showed we got settled O possibilities on that last series. So, all right, dodge a bullet right there. Get back into the O. But he had backup, so that's all right, I guess. That was too eager. Get out of town. Get out of town or call a timeout.
Let's see if you called it, Rich.
Timeout.
A big spot
all
right
those
there.
years on the sidelines, Kyle.
You don't want to lose that possession. You are able to keep the ball close in the offensive zone. And a big spot here for Manchester, who literally want to – every possession is going to matter here, Rich. And when you're this far down in the offensive zone, you know, we'll see what they kind of plan up here. But at least able to deal with some tough spot from Londonderry, who have really put a number on Cam Roberge. But Cam has been up to the task so far.
And he was on that, you know. But if I'm Coach D, Kyle, you know, sure, I don't want to have to burn that timeout, but it was good because their settled offense possessions have been few and far between. They've had their transition looks. They've had too many unforced errors in presumed settled offense. But here they had a chance after they had a nice sequence on the goal that took it to 7-4, and the kids were feeling it. You could see it. I was like, well, if he went from X and went topside, I think I can too. But Londonderry's now seen it, and they didn't have enough clear out. So my goal as a coach right there is to say, hey, guys, let's not force it. Let the defense come to us, and then we'll pick the side. You know, we'll redirect, and we'll create our offense. That way, it's only 2 minutes. Let's see if we can get one before the third elapses here, you know?
Yeah, certainly a big spot here, able to try to cut this deficit back to 2 goals. And, you know, the shade is starting to come in here.
Better we have it than they have it, the old adage is. All right, 1:50 on the clock. Kings are down 3 to the Lancers, 7-4 here in the third. And see how they're camped out way high this time?
You can see that someone's going to have to take a long shot here or wait for someone to cut.
And they're baiting Tyler Knapp outside. He's a real good athlete, can play offense we've seen, but he's a terrific short stick D. And he got that nice trail check on that windup by Harrison. And that forces the shot wide, 1:28 on the clock. Still, it remains with the Kings. All right, the speedy Jackson Obenmorin, but again, he gets jammed up. They're going into too much traffic, taking too many chances. You got to keep settled, though. Nothing wrong with playing for 1 or 2 quality looks here. They've gotten one already. And look, here come the slides. They're going to get triple team. Somebody's open.
Takes a shot, but stays with the Kings here with possession. Back behind the net they go.
So when that many guys wearing blue go after the ball carry, somebody's got to go into the green that's left behind. Call it slide. Follow the slide right there.
Well, it's going to stay with the Kings with now 55 seconds to go, Rich.
Ample time.
See what they can do.
And after a while, your defense gets a little gas, but if they have a lot of, if they keep you out of shooting range, that, so that forced a kind of low quality look. The defense, even though they're gassed, they start to get some mojo. Like, hey, we got rhythm here on defense.
Well, now with running out of lacrosse balls behind the net here, we're going to have to get those all filled in at the break here.
All right, 39 seconds on the clock. Plenty of time again. D'ing it up right there is Cody. Good roll back on Cody. Gets a little bit of underhand shot, and a nice job, nice save in tight there by St. Gelais. Gets the rock in. He's got some time to work. He's got about 20 seconds. You got to get a good clear here. Nice catch and turn, or is it turn and catch by Callahan. They get it in tight, and wow! A big windup right there by Heward. That was exactly what the danger is of leaving Londonderry too much time. And then a good catch, like I said, by Callahan, who had gotten loose right around midfield. He has a nice pass down the slot. Heward, as we've seen, Kyle, has that nice turn and release. And back of the net, that's tough.
And that is what coaches never want, is you don't get the goal on the opposite side, and then they go the length of the field in a matter of what felt like 7 seconds. I was having trouble finding the ball.
15, but, with 12 seconds left, that's kind of almost, I won't say a backbreaker, but your back hurts.
Hey, you certainly need some ibuprofen after that.
and an ice pack.
Well, Londonderry is trying to make something happen here, but only so much time to go.
Oh, that is a beautiful toe drag, but it's after the horn. That toe drag, that's what the lacrosse equivalent of a toe drag is when you put the stick down with the ball in your pocket and come across your body and then back to the same side. Oh, my goodness. And back of the net, but, yeah, we all heard the horn. So that brings us out of our third period, and it was a great third period. Nevertheless, it's the Londonderry Lancers 8, the Memorial Central Kings 4. They're going to take 2. So are we, Rich McDonough and Kyle Heavey for Manchester Public Television. See you in a few minutes. And, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Chabot-McDonough Field. I am Rich McDonough, and with Kyle Heavey for Manchester Public Television. This is our fourth quarter. The Kings are hosting the Lancers in our presumably last quarter. Lancers are up 8-4. It was a busy third quarter, Kyle.
Yeah, it certainly has been tough. It's been a hill climb here for the Kings, and they will look to try to get possession back here. They just lost it after a violation off the faceoff.
Yeah, got to have the rock. Oh, and that one gets low, but fortuitously there, able to play the miss is Blake Thompson as he came subbing in from the box there.
Always kind of nice when that can happen on accident.
Without a doubt. All right, I think you're going to see the Kings press out a bit more at times and certainly be a little bit more aggressive on ball carriers and possibly even put a lot of pressure or even shut off adjacent passes. We'll see what happens right now. Right now they're going to spin it around. They're in a 1-3. I'm a Maryland guy from behind. It's probably a hold right there.
Yeah, the flag was thrown. You can see that on the screen, so we'll see if Londonderry is able to – ooh, nice collision there. And the flag –
Boy, Roberge beautifully went from top side to opposite pipe, and he sealed that one off. No impact right there, but 10:49 on the clock. Londonderry's going to man up yet again.
Yeah, we're going to get the official to make this ruling here to see a slash on 32.
Yeah,
so
it was that slash, and that'll go to Cam Jackson. He's had a good game, but that one's tough. You set them up for a real serious goal opportunity early in the fourth quarter when you need a couple goals in, let's say, first 5 minutes.
Yeah, you can kind of see him on screen right there, kind of putting his arms out there like I hit him. You know, it didn't seem like that big of a slash, but
it was a hustle slash.
And now back behind the net.
All right, everybody top side for Londonderry in their 3-3, and they have a floating crease guy right now. Yeah, it's the quality shooter, Delory. And there he is. He catches the ball. I was about to say, as good a catcher. And, yeah, that draws a slide because they've seen it before. And guess what? The backside is open. Tic-tac goal. 9-4 at 10:31. That didn't take long, Kyle.
No, that's certainly a spot where you just wish that you had one more person out there to try to cut that down. And now a 5-goal lead, 10:31 to go, and Londonderry is feeling like they're ready to go home with the win here. But Manchester still some time. It's still a goal every 2 minutes, and you can make some magic happen here on this Friday.
Well, I was just saying that Delory's a great catcher in addition to shooter, but that was a completely scripted first 20 seconds right there, and it happened within 20 seconds.
Now, 6 losing hands, and let's see, Londonderry will get possession here.
And mercifully, the sun is about to dip behind the tree line, Kyle.
It's only taken an hour and 23 minutes since the start of this game for that to happen, and now it's going to be the Kings who actually will get the ball.
Yeah, I think he had a push there in that scrum, but it looked like it could have been anybody. But, if you're wearing white, you'll take it. Possession has been far and few between for the Kings. They got to make the most of this, but they can't take 4 or 5 minutes with this.
No, you can see that they're
and no more unforced errors.
They certainly know that time is not on their side, and now we'll see.
And here's a guy they got to set up is Tripp, number 25. He's got the ball right now. He's got high heat. They just got to pick the lock and let him give him some time and space for that lefty rip.
6'3", 195 pounds. I mean, you know that he's got some strength, and almost ripped one there.
He's itching to shoot it. For a catch in traffic, taking a 13, 14-yard shot, it's just not the shot you want. You got to get quality looks. And you've proven you can do it, and they're really good attacking from the X. Their strength has been in transition, as we've seen, Kyle. But when they've attacked from X.
And it looks like have an injury here.
Yeah, it's Brady Harrison across the way. He was grabbing his arm or his wrist or something like that. I think one glove is off.
Yeah, the helmet immediately came off. Coach D'Onofrio is coming out. The trainer's coming out. They're certainly making sure that he's okay.
He's carrying that right arm a little gingerly. But when the helmet comes off immediately, the kid's feeling some pain. We watched him play. He's tough.
Yeah, I mean, at halftime, he was jogging across the field. You could see the excitement here, but now it just seems like he drops his gear. And
a few small repairs, and my guess is number 2 will be back on the field pretty quickly.
Well, now
excuse me.
We'll see.
I've got the grass allergies.
What number 12 can do here.
Yeah, that's Brandon Weaver. He's one of their captains. And he's drawing, most of the day, he's been drawing Tyler Knapp, who's a powerfully built athlete at the short stick D. And that's a tough assignment because he's got about 20 pounds on Weaver. Oh, that's a good pull. There you go. And I've been talking about him all day, Declan Wooten, and just got a really good release, and he's such a strong athlete. He's so physical that you can't check him. You can't check around him, and he creates his own space, Kyle.
He's like that big forward on a basketball team that you don't want to cover because you know that he's got a ton of strength and able to use that to his advantage, cutting the deficit to 4 again. Like I was saying, Rich, a goal every 2 minutes could get the Kings back in this. We'll see if we can have that happen here, and obviously we're hoping to see Harrison come back in the game as well.
Got to have the rock, though. Somebody's got to win some faceoffs. 50-50 ball, unable to do it. Drew Allen, he's done it almost every time he's gotten his shots at the dot, and he's got the ball, 8:42 on the clock, and they sport a 9-5 lead. 4 goals is a lot in a single-digit game.
Yeah, Rich, I mean, you know how it is that you just exert so much energy trying to chase to get the possession of the ball.
Right.
And that's where the Kings have really just, they're doing all that they can, but Londonderry is just going to be able to use that excess energy. And now a shot here.
Oh, and that's a great jump shot. Nice feed up from topside by Thompson. And then good finish, catching it loaded, which, I mean, he was already in shooting position as he caught it. Trey Campbell, and he went to the air, changed planes, back of the net, 10-4.
10-5. Yeah.
I was stuck on 4 for a long time there, so excuse me, my man.
Well, with 8:16 to go, that could be the backbreaker for sure, as you were saying, the goal right before the end of the third was. But here we go with some time here, and just so quickly after getting the energy and losing that face-off, and Londonderry just is so quick with things.
And here we go back to that kind of you get a goal, I get a goal. Can't trade them. You got to go on a 2 or 3 goal run.
And you're looking for teammates to come in and kind of
clean
house, in my opinion.
Oh, couldn't come away with it with Lucas Brown. He had it in his stick initially. Couldn't run to green with that. Somebody's got to just get low and gnarly.
I mean, I've been in some mosh pits that have looked like that in my past with Rich.
I've heard that.
I didn't always win them.
Hey, I was listening to crazy music in the 80s, and I've probably been in a few too. So, all right, well, at the errant throw, back to the Kings it goes. 7:47 on the clock. Roberge has to start this clear off in a hurry. Get it upfield. Here we go. Get your 2-on-1s. Go up the ladder. That's all right. It's a nice slow bounce pass, and nobody but your man can get to it. Sometimes, kind of like football, you throw your guy open.
Spin move there.
All right, get away from pressure. Redodge. There we go. Oh, yard sale as he fell to the dirt. Go away. No. He thought the 45-yard line was the midfield stripe. Oh, get away. Just get to space. Better we have it. Hit the reset switch. Nah, that was forcing it in. Can't do that. Go on some settled offense. That's good riding. Good riding right there. Great job by Wong. Yeah, he gets a big hand from his bench, and that's right. All right, now have a good, steady possession here. Stop jamming it into traffic. Stop taking 15, 20-yard shots.
Under 7 to go, Rich.
And you got your touch right there. You got to touch it in just beyond the 30 into restraining line. That sets you into motion.
And
we got a my guess is unsportsmanlike, somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, I think the
I don't know what the first whistle was for, though.
Holding is going to be the first call, looks like, and then it looks like an unsportsmanlike as well. Again, referee's not the loudest here. They're only talking to the
bench
here.
Scoring table, yeah. So it's a 30-second call. It was a technical. Hold in tight. And back on man up. They call it EMO. I don't know why, because you're not getting an extra man. If anything, call it subtracted man. But anyway, man up we go. 30 seconds. Londonderry will probably take a couple passes and then get into their flow. And there they go. Now right here, you'd be looking for the backside opposite the ball. There we are. Skip pass, goal. Boom.
Laser right there, just past Roberge, top corner, and now
that was just a beautifully scripted play. Beautifully scripted play. Londonderry, they saw what they knew what they wanted to do. You saw, 3 passes, and then frequently the scorer is either two dodges away or a redodge away, and there we had it.
Yeah, now it's just about pride and making sure that you do the right things. Try to make sure that you don't let Londonderry taking the whole air out of the stadium here. And
I got to tell you, that was just a wise play right there by Drew Allen. He didn't win the draw, but what he did was once his man was close enough, he man ball. That means he offered up some physical contact, which you're allowed to do within a certain space, and recognized that his wingman was coming in hot, and he just left the ball free with nobody to pick him up. Nice job by Drew Allen. Expect that out of your senior leaders, and there it was. Boom, what a pass, skip pass, great pass. Great save by Roberge right there. Way to keep his eyes on the ball. And then a huge hit inside on Walden. He's down on the turf, but he looks all right. 6:06, 11-5. In order to have any prayer here, Kyle, the Kings got to do what they haven't done all day. They need a 3-goal run.
A late flag thrown here in the game, so we'll see if there's kind of some chirping going on here between the teams, as now the officials.
Well, we're getting some
kind of
strict education right now from a ref. It reminds me of Sister Gonzaga 1,000 years ago.
Wow. Looks like
I think he's calling a penalty on 2 guys, just mixing it up too much.
wow, we got a lot of
I'm trying to listen
irritation here on 28, who's claiming that he did not say anything and does not want to come off the field. And now the referee is talking to Coach D'Onofrio.
And Coach D is on the brink of getting a technical bench foul.
So number 5, unnecessary roughness, 1 minute.
So Brown will sit for sure. Let's find out the rest of the penalty soup. And then a conduct foul on Koenig, number 45. Now we're going to get a lecture to at least one of the attackmen. All right,
He looks like he got a shake of the hand.
Yeah, he did. The ref blamed it errantly on Wooten, and he went over because they gave each other the little lip. He went over to say, "I didn't mean it. I apologize." And uncommon, very uncommon, but at times you have to. I never had that situation when I reffed anything, but you know, talk it out, make sure you got the right numbers, understand what the coaches were talking and who said what. And I think one of the Londonderry players also offered up that he didn't say anything.
Well, officials sometimes they have hard heads. You know, it's certainly their job to constitute the rules and make things go right.
That's right. Anyway, we're 2 men up for a minute. Oh, Robert's coming to sneak out. Sometimes you got to do it. Oh, great knockdown in tight. Still coming up with it right there was Heward. Oh, that's a good. Hey, nice closeout check. Really nice closeout check by Cam Jackson. That sends the ball over the end line, and that'll send it back to the Kings. But they have a 2-man down clear. That is asking a lot. You got to get your goalie active so you're really functionally 5-on-6. 5:32 on the clock. Somebody's got to make an athletic play here. Either that or Coach D's got to call a TO.
Trying his best here. Oh, backwards throw. And it actually is going to make its way past the end line, but incredible how far that went just from throwing it like a Hail Mary.
I would have called a timeout. Let him get right to the 40-yard line right there. Call a TO, and then you got a shorter clear, and your players aren't as gassed. But I guess when you're trying the impossible, you got to try the impossible.
Well, here we go.
All right, we're back to even.
Exactly 5 minutes left in this game, and Londonderry.
And Londonderry's in a staggered 2-2-2 right now. First time I've seen them do this all night, but we're just getting started. It might be their opening kind of setup here. Now we got somebody at X.
Well, getting chased.
Yeah, well, Kings have to press out right now, and pressing out hard. Doing his job is Jefferson Rivera. He's a good athlete. Watch him move.
And the bench is proud of him. He's doing his thing.
Yeah, but all for naught because Parker Lewis is just saying, you know, you want to press out, I'll drag you out further. I got all day. Now, the rule in high school is that it takes 4 minutes, but you can get a stall warning. You don't have a shot clock.
And back to the point here. And there.
Hard checking right there by Alex Sutherland. Londonderry's seen this before. I mean, they're playing, you know, out-of-state teams and BG coming up and Bedford, you know, physical teams. They're used to this.
Yeah, both teams will have to face Bedford in the next few
look
weeks.
out. Heward's got miles of room. There's Mr. Roberts with a and he lost the ball as he was running away. Good job coming up with it by Sutherland. Got to make the right pass here. Give your guys a chance to put a couple in the net. Playing the miss really well right there was Walton. Here he goes. And that's my man, number 28. Yet he got himself a hattie now. All right, 3:29, and he cuts it to 11-6.
And you can see he was pumped for that, able to just kind of slide that past the goalie. And, you know, they might be down still 5, but they're still playing with a lot of energy and a lot of excitement
It's
here.
a great fight. It's a great fight. You know, everybody around, you know, like I said, I coached here for a decade, and everybody around probably is looking at this going, the Kings are going to get mopped. Now, I listened to the Londonderry coach but while he was exhorting his players pregame, and he goes, you cannot give up against these fellas. You just can't. You know, you can't overlook. It's not a trap game. You know, I don't like that kind of term, but because you got to take everybody very seriously and give them your best effort. But people sometimes can look past a matchup like this, especially when they were struggling. And here he goes to work again. Roll back, use all that muscle, bull dodge, bully ball, getting a shot off. Block it with your ball, with your body. Good job by Tripp. Tripp's got to look at the clock and recognize that he's got 3:03, and he needs let's call it 3 goals in a minute and a half.
Well,
oh, that's a good lift check from behind. Goes to the turf, and now Londonderry can just chew the clock and get home.
and Rich, you've obviously played. I mean, turf has got to be so different than natural grass that Tripp might not have fallen if it had been natural grass.
Well, Tripp lived up to his last name right there. But I will tell you, the nicest field I ever played on. Oh, here comes a goal. Tic-tac goal. You go right down the alley. You rotate a bit. You carry the ball, and which drags a defender from left to right, and that opens up green space. You pass back against the grain like a good hockey cycle, and there's no chance for Roberge. And that makes it 12-6 at the 2:32 mark. I will tell you, Kyle, the nicest field I ever played on, I played on a bunch of beautiful turf fields. North Carolina, they have this grass down there that makes the best AstroTurf on the planet look like marble.
Wow.
I mean, UNC, it's just so gorgeous. There isn't one bit of clover. It's the thickest, smoothest thing you've ever played on. Unbelievable.
Well, I'm sure Bill Belichick is out there playing lacrosse because he's a big fan of the
Well,
sport
he was at the Maine Miss Maine pageant this weekend.
That's
Belichick.
right.
There we go.
Now, he stepped across the 50. Should that be an offsides there, Rich?
You got 10 seconds to get it in.
Okay.
You got 10 more seconds to work it.
Well, the first game we covered today was a team winning by double. Right now, we have the same thing, a big collision there. Still, he now has fallen down. And
Oh, unfortunate bounce right there. Come on, keep your stick low and get out there, Balio. All right, for the brief moment, he had numbers, but that's a good trailing catch-up by Blake Thompson. Good hustle. No wearing number 9 in blue. We're down to 145. Doubling up. Here comes another goal. I do like this kid's game.
yeah, he's certainly, for Manchester, such a huge spot right here to have, 4 goals now, I believe.
That is 4.
Now it is back to a 5-goal deficit, but a $1.41 to go. And
Well, Watton he's a sophomore, so I'm just going to be watching number 28 for the next 2 seasons. And, he's got something special going on, and he's strong as an ox, and he's just a sophomore.
yeah, Coach D'Onofrio does a great job of making sure these Crusaders hit the weight room. They
changes
between
everything.
Football and lacrosse. I mean, it's something that growing up in Pembroke we did not do, and it showed on the scoreboard.
I didn't really do it till we hit the college ranks. Georgetown had a program that was unbelievable, and here he goes again. Here comes bully ball, but he's going to get that chopped away. Yep, he got it chopped down to the ground. Tripp tries to pick it up in traffic, can't do it. Only one coming up with that was St. Gelais, and he tries to work it out to his left.
Whistle there.
I think we got interference away from the ball. 1:19 on the clock, 12-7 on the scoreboard.
The lights have come on just for a little bit to make sure that we get the last minute 19 to go with able to see clearly. As boy, what a difference a matter of an hour and 41 minutes makes, Rich.
I got to love the LED lighting here. Whoa, look at that. What a pull. Dusting by, drive. Finally getting his, Brody Campbell, he gets on the field. And, I've been a coach in that position, in the other side, going, you know what? The kid got his chance. He's an athlete. He's trained to dodge, right? You're not trained to go in when you get your chance. You're trained to run some offense and learn. So, sometimes you say, why would you do that? It's running up the score. It can be, but, if your fourth line is doing that, I don't know, stow it. 13-7, 1:12 on the clock. Straight up and down, straight up and down. Good job right there by Rivera. He lost sight of the ball, and we got another flag. Unnecessary, is in my opinion. Probably going to go on Rivera or
And
Brown.
we got a player down here for Londonderry. As you saw it behind the play, I followed the ball,
Yep.
so I did not see it, but he is able to get up.
Was it Walden? Yeah, it's Walden. Colby Walden's had a good game. He's a strong kid, very tough kid. He'll be all right. But unnecessary.
Trainer right there to make sure. And, sometimes you just got to deal with the pain. And look at it. He's not even coming off. And, yes, an unnecessary
And it was
penalty
on Brown.
here.
Lucas Brown goes to the bin, 55, so we won't see him again unless Londonderry scores and it's released.
Well, 55 seconds ago, time to make something happen if they want to.
Well, and you're probably going to have, you have your set man-up units and man-down units, so we'll see familiar faces. Londonderry, maybe you put one or two guys, get them into rotation, but it's usually going to be your top 6 or 7 guys who can run your man up, and you want to do it as many times in game conditions as possible before you head for the tournament. So no slight on coach if they run some aggressive offense, because you just got to keep this gadget unit hot.
And at this point, the game's at hand. At the same time, that a lot of these teams do not have time for practice with how many games that they have had to play. So now almost playing it like a practice, but it looks like Londonderry is just going to kill this clock and get out of here with the win.
Yeah, and what we would do is we'd run the offense hard and not shoot. You run it, you have a hard cut, you pick the lock on one side, you run your seam plays, and then just don't shoot. But they just kill the clock, and that's cool.
Oh, congratulations
fight, huh,
to the
Kyle?
Londonderry Lancers, who will get the victory here by a final score of 13-7. Rich, you gotta be impressed right now with how Manchester was able to play. They didn't get the victory, but they still came in and were able to put up 7 goals versus a top 6 team in the NHIAA Division I boys lacrosse.
We're not into you've played ball, I've played ball, and coach, you're not into moral victories, and but you do admire your team's fight, especially when most people probably thought it's going to be a wipeout, and they gave Londonderry all they got, and I knew it when I was listening to coach before the game that they couldn't take the foot off the gas against these Kings. Good showing.
Yeah, certainly as the Manchester team now drops to 1-9, while the Londonderry Lancers will go up to 8-4 on their record, and we will get one more game with them this season, as only so much time left in this spring sports season here. And I'll
tell you what, Kyle, everybody's got to go to NHIAA on a daily basis at this point to watch the math work out, because in addition to wins and losses, it's quality factors,
For sure. So
okay, Kyle.
For Executive Director Jason Cody, Operations Specialist Joe Lahr, Operations Assistant Brendan McCormick, for our main man Rich McDonough, thank you again for being a part of this coverage of lacrosse. And my name is Kyle Hevey. It's been a pleasure to be with you, and we look forward to seeing you again for the spring lacrosse and baseball spring 2025 season. So long for now. Thank you for watching.